I was promised beer, and if I don't get it soon, I'm taking this guy with me.
So, to cut a long story short of what happened today, Disney are taking over the world. I'm not sure there's ever been, what am I kidding? There's never been a Star Wars announcement this big. Or should I say, what just happened? Okay, here we go. All of this just got announced today. Hey everyone, it's Andrew. The Obi Wan series is titled Obi Wan Kenobi, and although we've known this has been in production for a while now, we have some more details on the series. It's going to star Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader.
You underestimate my power!
So Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor will be working together again on this. The series is also taking place 10 years after Revenge of the Sith and the Fall of Order 66, everything that happened in that episode. It's locked in, confirmed, they're starting filming in 2021. The Cassian Andor series, titled simply Andor, is set to release in 2022. Again, we've known about this series for a while, but now we have a rough idea of when it's going to release. We've also had this kind of little bit of a teaser trailer showing some art, showing Diego Luna, the actor who plays Cassian, talking a bit about the TV show and where the series is going to go. I loved Rogue One. I think it's one of the better, or if not the best, Disney Star Wars film that they've ever made, that Disney has made anyway. But in terms of a series, this is going to be interesting because I don't know how popular Cassian Andor was. I mean, sure, he was a, decent enough character, but the fact he's getting his own TV show, it'll be interesting to see where it goes and the direction it takes. It's supposed to be like a rebel spy kind of show, espionage, that kind of thing. Should be fun. Hopefully get some James Bond vibes in there. Okay, next up, the big one, the Ahsoka series. Star Wars Ahsoka is officially confirmed as a series. Yes, so she's not taking the reins from The Mandalorian. I expressed this in another video that in The Mandalorian episode where Ahsoka shows up, chapter 13, she does kind of take a lot of the limelight and most of the episode is pretty much focused on her. But it seems like from the get-go, they're using that episode as a springboard for her to launch her own series, which she definitely deserves. The series stars Rosario Dawson playing Ahsoka, who played her in The Mandalorian as well, and this one is being created by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. Obviously, Ahsoka is pretty much Filoni's character. I don't think there's anyone who ever doubts that, so I'm really glad he's involved in working on that. And this series takes place within the same time frame as The Mandalorian, so what's happening with Din Djarin on his journey with Baby Yoda. We'll get to see the alternate side of what's going on with Ahsoka, what happened to her after Star Wars Rebels, after everything that happened in that show, what she's been up to all these years. It's going to be really interesting to see. Most likely going to explore her hunting for Thrawn and potentially even Ezra. Whether or not she's trying to recreate some kind of Jedi Order, I don't really think that's her motive or that's something that drives her, but really glad she's being given her own attention and her own series. Okay, next up, the next Star Wars film we're getting, which is supposed to come out within the next few years, probably going to be like 2023, 24-ish, is called Rogue Squadron. Yes, that's right. A movie entirely focused on the starfighter pilots of the Rebel Alliance, I'm assuming. Now, this one's directed by Patty Jenkins, who directed Wonder Woman 1984, and her father was actually a fighter pilot in the US Air Force. So I think she'll bring a really unique angle and spin to this and hopefully be able to, show us something we haven't seen before. It feels like we're going to get a Top Gun style Star Wars film, which, of course, why would we not be excited about that? I'm curious to see if it'll tie into Star Wars Squadrons at all, if it'll have anything to do with that and that game's storyline. It was also confirmed today that Taika Waititi is, in fact, directing his own Star Wars film, which he's working on writing at the moment. This one will probably come out after the Rogue Squadron film. It'll be the next one, but he, of course, directed Chapter 8 of The Mandalorian, which was the last episode of Season 1, and it seems like Disney really liked what he did with that episode. Definitely one of the most memorable, had his own little bits of comedy in there, so that's going to be exciting to see. Now, next up, we have a Lando Calrissian TV series coming and confirmed. However, we don't yet know if this is going to star Donald Glover playing Lando, just like he did in Solo. I feel like now that he's played Lando, it's hard to see him not playing him in this series, but they haven't announced it yet, meaning he's probably not locked in yet, or they're just waiting for a later date where they're going to build more hype about this series and make a larger announcement. We don't know if Billy D. Williams is involved yet. He originally played Lando Calrissian, of course, but this is sounding like it'll take us through the Calrissian Chronicles. Now, The Bad Batch just received its first trailer. This is the Clone Wars sequel, and this one is being produced by Dave Filoni, of course, and will follow Clone Force 99 as they deal with the events after Order 66, the fall of the Republic, the rise of the Empire. I'm not really sure where they fit into all that. I'm pretty sure the Bad Batch don't turn and don't, have the microchips in them that make them follow Order 66. The animation, art style, all of this already looks incredible. A lot of action in this series, it seems. And I'm so glad they're making a Clone Wars series specifically focused on the clones. Next up is the Rangers of the New Republic TV series. And this one is also being created by Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. And this one is also set within the timeline of The Mandalorian and will highly likely follow the journey of several New Republic Rangers as they struggle to maintain order in the galaxy following the destruction of the second Death Star and the fall of the Empire. We're also getting a new Star Wars animated adventure film called A Droid Story, which will introduce a new character, a new hero, who's guided by R2-D2 and C-3PO. This one's completely produced by the visual effects team at Industrial Light and Magic, who've worked on everything Star Wars since Star Wars began. And I'm sure Anthony Daniels will be playing C-3PO in this. Feels like this one might be targeted more at a younger audience, but who knows? Okay. The Acolyte is a mystery thriller series that'll take viewers into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era. So this series seems like it's going to be a much darker look at Star Wars in a period that's largely unexplored in the High Republic era, which takes place between 300 and 100 years before the Battle of Yavin. So just for some context, Order 66 happened 32 years before the Battle of Yavin. So the events of this series are taking place roughly 70 years before that. This one honestly has me really excited. Seems like it's going to be quite different and will show something completely different, probably more of that political side of things that we got in the prequels. I'd love a Star Wars political thriller. Let's go. Let's get that done. Star Wars Visions is an original series of animated short films that celebrates the Star Wars galaxy through the lens of the world's best Japanese anime creators. So basically anime for Star Wars Visions. Probably the closest thing we have to this right now is Star Wars Galaxy of Adventures, which is a series that's produced for the Disney XD YouTube channel. But to see more of this kind of thing in the Star Wars universe, and I'm assuming these won't be original stories, these will, just be like reappropriations of existing Star Wars stories and Star Wars timelines, narratives, all of that. I'm loving it. Let's do it. Let's get more of that done. So that's all the Star Wars series and Star Wars news happening. There are 11 in total, which is absolutely insane. But there's also a new Indiana Jones film that's coming out in July 2022. Of course, it'll be starring Harrison Ford. And then also a big surprise, Willow, which is another film that was directed by Ron Howard and I'm pretty sure George Lucas wrote in the 1980s. It stars Warwick Davis, who also appears in some of the Star Wars films. He, of course, plays Wicket, everyone's favorite Ewok. Yeah, but they're making a series about this. So there you go, guys. Do you think George Lucas ever thought this would happen when he sold it to Disney? That all of this would come out of his universe? Definitely not. There's no way. This is more than anyone ever expected to see and is pretty much locking in content for the next 5 or so years, I'd say. Don't forget, we're also getting at least another season of The Mandalorian, if not several more. And if these new series are successful and popular, which I have no idea how they couldn't be, I mean, it's Star Wars, it's likely they'll also have multiple seasons. So like I said at the start of this video, Disney are literally taking over the world, the entertainment world anyway. It's almost as if there'll be no other reason to watch anything else with the amount of content they're making. My goodness. But I think this will also encourage a lot more people to eventually sign up to Disney Plus. I know the service isn't as popular as, say, like Netflix or some of the other ones you might have in your country, but man, this is a lot of content that's going to be on the platform. It's so interesting that they decided to drop all of this on the same day. I'm pretty sure this event where all of this was announced, it's like a Disney investor event. This was supposed to happen a lot earlier in the year, but because of, the way this year is gone, they had to push it back. Like in 2019, this event happened, I think it was back in March. So they've pushed this back. Here we have it now, and they've just been like, yeah, we're just going to dump all of this on you. But guys, like, come on. This is the ultimate fan service. There's never going to be another day like this in Star Wars history. It's ridiculous. It's over the top. It's everything everything everyone wanted all at once. I mean, Hayden Christensen, Obi Wan, an Ahsoka series, 2 new films announced, a Lando Calrissian series, Spy series, Rangers of the Republic, Bad Batch, this Clone Wars sequel, a new droid film, anime stuff, new Indiana Jones, High Republic series. I'm really wondering if after all this, we're hopefully going to get some video game announcements. Can you imagine if we had a day like this where they're like, yeah, we're making like at least another 5 Star Wars games and here's what they all are and they're coming out in the next 5 years. That's the day I'm waiting for it. But I'd really recommend you go follow the Star Wars Twitter page. That's where I found out all of this was happening. They tweeted it out, or you can come and follow me on Twitter at StayBombastic to find out about this stuff. As soon as it happens, I'll probably retweet it or I'll share it. You'll be hearing from it. Anyway, crazy stuff. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you're looking forward to the most as well out of all of this. And thanks for watching. My name's Andrew. I'll catch you soon.
Stay bombastic.